As many as 64 African migrants are feared dead after a smuggler's overcrowded rubber dinghy from Libya started sinking in the Mediterranean Sea. The Italian Coast Guard rescued 86 people Saturday morning. 8 bodies were brought ashore and dozens are still missing. Juliet Linley is EWTN News Nightly's Vatican correspondent. She joins us from Rome. Juliet, what do we know about the rescue efforts?
Lauren, so rescue divers from the Italian Coast Guard jumped into the water and managed to salvage dozens of migrants, some of whom were clinging to the half-submerged rubber dinghy in the water, and others who were treading water to stay alive. Now, apparently there were 150 people on this rubber boat that set off from a Libyan beach, a beach east of Tripoli, and after about 8 hours at sea, the boat apparently started to lose its balance and began to deflate.
Juliet, this is so sad. It's become such a frequent occurrence in the Mediterranean. Can you give us a snapshot of the entire situation?
Well, last year alone, 3,000 migrants lost their lives, and they managed to salvage almost 120,000. Now, in this case, the migrants were from sub-Saharan Africa, so from countries like Mali, Gambia, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Nigeria, Cameroon, and in most cases they were economic migrants. They were not war refugees, so they wouldn't even possibly be eligible for asylum permission to actually stay in Europe once they arrived.
Pope Francis, we know, is constantly talking about this, Juliet, reminding us of the need to embrace migrants. And this is an issue that he is so passionate about. Why?
Well, not long into his papacy, just 4 months after he was elected, Pope Francis made a very symbolic trip to the tiny island of Lampedusa, south of Sicily. It's the first point of contact that migrants have with Europe, if you will. And he said Mass there, and he wanted to commemorate the thousands of migrants who have lost their lives over the years in the sea. And more recently, at the end of September, the Vatican launched the Share the Journey campaign, which is a 2-year initiative aimed specifically at bringing all of us, even you and me, Lauren, closer to refugees and migrants, and encouraging us to sort of listen to their stories, to meet them, to reach out to them, to look them in the eyes, and to see the actual people beyond the statistics and beyond the misinformation.
And Share the Journey has been implemented, I know, at the parish level, especially here in Washington, D.C. Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren.